Thank you again for watching. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. And now let's deal with insurance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you have to deal with it, especially after a car crash, it can sometimes actually be worse than the accident itself. Sometimes a huge headache, right?
A huge headache.
And that's why it's important for you to be up to speed, no pun intended, about your coverage options if something happens to you.
Joining us now, Brook Goff, founding attorney with the Goff Law Group. Good morning, Brooke. Thanks for being with us. You look fantastic.
Thank you. So happy to be back. Thank you.
All right, tell us about your daughter that was born.
She's amazing. She's 3.5 months now. I'm telling you, you never thought. I thought I was a great lawyer before, not to have a high opinion of myself, but, you know, being a mom older makes you an even better lawyer, because you just go in, you know, whether the courtroom, you go into the office and you just want to like rip everybody to shreds that messes with your clients the same way you'd want to do it with your kids, right? So no, it's great. I'm very happy. She sleeps, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I already see a little bit of, is she going to be a lawyer? I think maybe she's already arguing with us a little bit. Okay. So we'll see. Yeah, I think it's in there. My son's 11. He says, I'm never going to be a lawyer. So I had to have another one. And then I think I see a glimmer of hope in Tori, so we'll see.
That's exciting.
Right,
well,
so
she's a good role model.
Yeah,
I'll end up with 2 lawyers. Grayson will change his mind, and then I'll end it. But that's great. The more the merrier.
Yeah,
well, it's good to see you. We're talking about auto insurance today.
Yes.
Is it mandatory in Connecticut?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on it. We call some people like to say it's optional. It's not. It's mandatory. It's a misdemeanor if you don't have it and you're driving around without it. Yeah.
And it's so important that you do have it.
I mean, look, if you're one of those people that are selfish, protect yourself with it. If you're one of those people that just need to follow the rules, then protect everybody else. I don't care. But you know, all these insurance companies, they spend all this money just getting you to just choose their insurance. Yeah. They would make so much more money if they just took that commercial time like I do and they educate people on what the coverages are that they offer. It's so funny. It's like they spend all this money on like these personalities and these like animals and all these other things, but really you should be thinking, wait, everybody would probably spend an extra $20, $30, $40 a month if they actually knew what they were buying, but they don't. Hence I'm here, right? Yeah.
All right, so I get my statement. It says you got $100,000 coverage of this, $300,000 coverage of that. I don't know what any of it means.
So you need more than 100, 300.
Okay,
that's
good to
number
know.
1.
All right, very good. I'm learning something new right here.
That's number 1. Yeah. You all people. It'd be like me saying up 100, 300. Everybody would cringe. So you need more than 100, 300. So there's liability and there's underinsured, uninsured motorists. There's other coverages, but we'll talk about those. Liability is if you cause the accident. Guys, they're called accidents for a reason, right? So if you just, I don't know, you slide into some, whatever the case might be, that protects your assets, right? So that protects them if that person breaks their leg and you don't have enough coverage. That protects your, you know, that allows your insurance company to pay out for you. So it's liability. So it's your liability to somebody else. That's why those coverages have to be high, okay? The more assets you have to protect, the higher that coverage needs to be. That's it, hands down. Then you have underinsured, uninsured motorists, which actually protects you. Tons of people, I'd say inner city right now, we see 3 out of 10 people driving around without insurance at all.
Oh my God.
And I'd say without enough insurance, 7 out of 10 in Connecticut, believe it or not. So what happens is if they hit you and you break your leg and they only have $25,000 of insurance, state minimum, where you like what's going to happen if you don't have the insurance? You probably don't have assets to protect, right? So you get this coverage. It's mandatory. Underinsured, uninsured motorists in Connecticut, you get to choose your limit. So if somebody hits you without enough insurance, your insurance then steps into the feet of to their feet after you've already exhausted their policy, and your insurance pays the differential. So if you had a $500,000 policy and somebody hits you with $25,000, you would be able to get an extra $475,000 from your policy.
I gotta call my insurance.
Now, one more thing, one more tip nobody talks about in Connecticut: conversion. It is, for those people that are watching this that just are like, I can barely afford my insurance now, a cheaper way to get more insurance is conversion policy. Because what happens is, remember I just said if you get 500, you collect 25, your insurance will pay 475. If you have a conversion policy and you get 25 from the other insured, your insurance will pay 500. You don't get the credit for what they've paid. So conversion is a cheap way to get yourself additional insurance in the event that you're obviously in an accident, and it's much cheaper than adding policy. But please add the policy, because conversion can only go so far.
And hire her as your attorney.
Seriously, who doesn't want this?
Unbelievable. Well, thanks, Brooke. We so appreciate your time.
Call your agents.
Yes.
Call your agents.
Right now.
Learn what you have.
Take a break. Everybody needs a break.
All right, very good.
And congratulations again. It's great to see you.
Congratulations. Marcy, take it away.